So you have
Okay.
35 plus 97. Okay, so first of all, you do 5 plus 7. Okay, so 5 plus 7 is 12. You write down 2 and you put 1 over here. Okay,
Yeah.
you do
And what? And
1
then you.
plus 1 plus 3 plus 9. That's 13. Okay, so you put down 13 and that's your answer, 132. Okay, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
No.
Good. Do you all understand? Like, I want
Yes.
full participation. Yes?
Yeah. When if you add, if there's like if it's like a 10 or 12, any number above not 10 is that's you have to put the one and add the one in the tens or hundreds.
Yes. Yes, that's correct. That's exactly right. Okay. So, I guess you guys have a handle of this problem. So now let's move on to some harder questions. Okay. Let's look at number 5 now. Okay. Okay.
Wait.
Number 5,
Oh, okay. Number 5.
because it's harder, a little bit harder. Okay. But I'm sure you could get through it. Okay. So let's look at this problem. 1141 plus 1090. So start writing. So you write down 1, 1, 4, 1, and 1, 0, 9, 0 plus. Okay?
Can I see the answer, please?
Yeah, let's work through the
Okay.
problem and then you could check your answer. If it's
2,231.
good, now let's verify. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 plus 9 is 13. So you know that you have to take the 1 above here, okay? You write 3,
And
1
then
here. Then you do 1 plus 0, that's 2. And then you do 1 plus 1, that's also 2. So this is your answer, 2,231.
2,231.
Good work. Good, 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 good. Make sure you all understand, okay? If you don't understand, ask me, okay? Okay, so now let's look at number 6. So what you have to do is 1, 2, 5, 0 plus 5, 99. Okay? Okay, so now 1 plus 9 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 9. 5 plus 9 is 14. So you write down 4. Put 1 up there. Now 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 8.
Is it okay if I
1.
can see the answer?
Yeah, that's completely fine, but I'm just showing you how to do a problem so that other people could also see how to do a problem. Okay, and then you could check your answers as we go along.
Okay.
Cool, 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 cool. Make sure you all understand, and if you have any questions, just stop me right there and you could ask that question. Okay, don't be shy or anything. All right, now let's move on to question 8. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We have 1, 8, 0, 8 plus 1, 4, 0, 6, right? All right. So 1 plus 8 is 14. So you write down 4 and then 1 would go up here. So 1 plus 0 is 1, right? And then again, 8 plus 4 is 12. You write down 2. 1 goes up here. And then 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, right? So your answer is 3,214, okay?
Okay,
Understand that.
I understand.
Everyone to understand. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right. Now let's look at number 9, okay? So number 9, 2, 9, 5, 0 plus 1, 9, 9, 5. Good work. Okay, so 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. So 1 would go here. 1 plus 9 is 19. Okay, make sure you understand that. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So you write down 9. And 1 would go up here. And then 1 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 4. Okay, make sure you all understand this.
Sorry, can you go a little bit slower? Thank you.
Okay, so let's look at this problem once again. So you write down 2950 plus 1995. And then you start. Okay? Then you start. What 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. So you write down 4. You have your 1 over here, okay? Then 1 plus 9 is 19. You write down the 1 over here and 9 over here, okay? And then 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4, okay? Okay? Do you all understand that?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Cool. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to ask me, okay? So now,
Okay.
let's move on to number 10. This is one of the harder problems, okay? So look at this carefully, okay? Try to understand everything I'm saying about number 10, okay? This is a complex problem, I would say. So you write down 2, 3, 0, 0, 4, plus.
Wait,
Okay, so you write down 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, right? Do you all agree with me? Do you understand what I did? Do you get it? Talk to me. Hey, talk to me. Do you all understand?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, so 4 plus 4 is 8. So you write down 8. 0 plus 2 is
2.
0 plus 2 again over here is also 2. 3 plus 2 is
5.
and 2 plus 1 is
3. 3.
so your answer is
3,000.
35,000.
35,228.
Very good. Good. Okay, so now let's move on to our subtraction problems, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Start with some basic problems, okay?
So we have to do this for homework?
Yeah, this was your homework for last week.
Oh yeah.
Did you do those problems?
Like
No. If
first
not,
I added
yeah, go.
first I added like I added 90 I added 91 plus 70. So 1 plus 0, that equals 1. And 9 plus 7 equals 16. So the answer is 161.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. Okay, now let's move on to subtraction problems, okay?
Okay.
Let's look at the first one, 99 minus 64. So you set up, okay? So 99 minus 64. So 99 minus 64, okay? So 9 minus 4,
I know the answer.
5, and then 9 minus 6,
3.
3. So your answer is
35.
good, 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 good. Let's move on to question 4 now, okay? All right, question 4. 1, 5, 5 minus 99. Oh, all right. Okay. So this is how you do it. So when you subtract 5 from 9, you get a number below 0, a negative number. So you need to borrow. Okay? This is tricky.
Okay.
So you have 5 here, you have 9 here. So in order to subtract, you borrow 10 from this 5, okay? Okay? You borrow 10 from this 5 onto here, okay?
Okay.
When you Okay, so when you do that, you have 15 minus 9, which is 6. And because you borrowed 10 from this 5 right over here, that is now a 4, okay? But again, you can't subtract a 9 with a 4. So you borrow 10 from this one right here. That would be 14. This one would go away. 14 minus 9 is 5. That's your answer, 56.
Oh,
Okay, good, good, good. Okay, now let's move on. Move
the
on.
fifth question?
What?
Are we doing the fifth question?
Yeah, fifth question. Yep. Okay, so let's look at number 5. 874 minus 520. Okay, so 4 minus 0 is 4.
4,
7 minus 2 is
Answer is 54.
5,
and 8 minus 5 is 3. So
3.
154. Right?
Yes.
Understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I want everybody to be talking, okay? Do you understand it? Do you not understand it? And yeah. Okay, now let's move on to number 7. Okay, this is a hard.
Okay.
I really want to get to question 7. All right. So 5, 3, 2 minus 2, 2 3, 4. Okay, so this is how you do it. You borrow 10. That would make this 12. Okay, understand that?
Yes.
So
So
12
the
minus
answer
12 minus 4
Do
is
you
8.
mind to explain the
8.
borrowing rule? Do you mind to explain the borrowing rule? Thank you.
So it's 13. This is 13. 3. So the answer for this is 10. So we write 0 here and we write 1 here, right? Hello?
Yeah, so this is how we do it. Okay, so that would be 12. Okay, so 12 minus 4 is 8. Okay, so that's now 2. So you have to borrow 10 once again. That would make this 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. When you borrow 10, it would become 4 because remember you borrowed 10. So 4 minus 2 is 2 and 4 minus 2 is again 2. That's your answer. Yeah,
Excuse me, I have a question.
yeah. Go.
How's the answer 9 for like 3 minus 3? It's supposed to be 13 minus 3, but how's the answer 9?
So again, over here, you borrow 10, right? You borrow
Yeah.
10. That would make this 3.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that equals 2 now because we borrowed from here.
And
Yeah,
then
now
you
I get it.
borrow again. That would be a 12. 12 minus 3 is 9.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now I get it.
Okay, so now let's move on to question 9. Okay.
I thought it was 8.
Yeah, let's move on to question 9.
Okay.
Okay. Question 9. You set it up. 9, 2, 8, 5, 5 minus 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, right? So
Yeah.
5 minus 5 is 0. 5 minus 1.
4. 8 minus 4 equals.
Okay, yeah, I'm showing it, so could you please stop?
Okay.
So 5 minus 1 is 4.
4.
That's a 0. 8 minus 4 is 4.
4.
Again, you need to borrow in order to
Yeah.
subtract. That would be a 12. Then 12 minus 3 is 9. Because you borrowed from 9, this would now be a 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So your answer is 69,440. Okay? Okay. Cool. Okay, so we have reviewed last week's homework. Now, let's move on to our... So let's move on to today's lesson, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'll just stop sharing and then share the screen once again.
No.
Just real quick, if anyone is still confused about addition, subtraction, borrowing, anything from last week's lesson, I put a link in the chat that you can go to for some extra help before we jump into today's topic.
Okay. Okay, so multiplication and division. So introduction to multiplication. So multiplication helps us find the total number of items quickly. Okay. For multiplication, we think about the number of equal sized groups and the number of items in each group. Okay. So let me explain. Okay. So you might have seen this sign, or someone do like, or then this like weird dot of 5. Okay. When people do this, okay, when people put a sign like X or this dot, they are talking about multiplication. Okay. When you multiply, you're basically adding a lot of times. Okay. So 4, let me put this way. 4 times 5 is basically equal to 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Do you see that? When someone says 4 times 5, you're basically adding 4 5 times. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay? Do you have any questions? Do you understand this?
Yes.
Me now?
Okay, do all of you understand? Yeah, good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. I kind of messed up. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem. So each time you visit your neighbor's doggy, like, that's kind of weird. You visit your neighbor's dog named Taffy. You give him 2 dog treats. Each equal size group has 2 treats, like this. Okay. You
Okay.
feed 5 times last week. So you visit the dog 5 times. So you would give him 5 different treats, right? Like these.
Yeah.
So you can use multiplication to find out the total number of treats, okay? Remember that every time you go, you give him 2 of these, okay? And then you went 5 times. So that would, so um, in order to find out the number of total treats you gave the dog last week, you need to multiply. So you multiply 5 times 2, because each time you go, you give the dog 2 treats, right? And then you went 5 times last week. So 5 times 2 as
9.
is basically equal to 5 plus 5, which is equal to 10. Okay? Multiplication is repeated addition. Okay? You need to repeat addition that many times in order to get multiplication. Okay? So multiplication is just a faster way to do addition. Okay? For some set of addition problems. Okay? Okay, so 2 times 5 is equal to 10 dog. All right, let's move. Okay, so you have 7 pigs. 7 pigs, okay? You have 3 groups of pigs, and each group has 7 pigs, okay? So now you need to calculate how many pigs there are, okay? that would be a total of 7 times 3, okay? 7 times 3, as some of you might know, is equal to 21, okay? Okay, do you understand this?
Yes.
Times 3 is equal to 7 plus 7 plus 7, which is equal to 21, right?
Is my microphone working? Can everybody
Yeah.
hear? Okay.
Yeah, I could hear you. Go.
So count by 7. So if we
Yeah.
count by sevens, what is the total number of pigs that we have in all, you guys?
21.
21. 21. So we see here we have 7 pigs. So 7, we can do an equation. We can do 7 times 3. So that would be our equation, right? So 7 times 3 means we have 7 of something, like pigs, and we can see them 3 times. We have seven pigs, and we have, for example, 3 pens of 7 pigs, right? So it's 3 instances of 7 pigs. Does that make sense?
You see them 3 times?
Yes, you see them 3 times. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There, next slide. Yeah.
About the bones one, did I do that?
Oh, it's
All
not-
right. So this thing is called a multiplication table. Okay. So you could see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. Okay. So you could see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on this side, and X mark here, that's the multiplication sign as I told you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 10 here. So what you have to do is multiply 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, and on. 2 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 7 is 8. Okay? On and on. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. And on. So these are called the basic multiplication tables. And it is highly recommended that in elementary school, students should learn all 10 tables, okay? You should memorize this because it is very helpful in middle school and high school math, okay? Because it almost daily you will see questions with multiplication, maybe like 7 times 9, so 7 times 9. You don't have to do that multiplication. You just know that if you memorize the whole 10 multiplication table, okay? Okay, so now let's look at multiplication by factors of 10. This is said to be one of the easiest kind of multiplication for kids because the concept is very simple, okay? In order to solve these kind of problems, one has to simply add the number of zeros at end, okay? Let me show you. Okay, when you have 56 times 10, okay? What you simply, you count the number of zeros. You have 1 0 right over here, okay? Do you write down 56 and put 1, okay? Exactly 1 0 over here because you have 1 0 over here, okay? Let's look at this problem. 98 times 1000, okay? So you put down 98. Then count the number of zeros. You have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 zeros, okay? Put down 3 zeros here. Okay, so your answer is 98,000. These are some of the simplest multiplication problems because you only need to add the number of zeros at the end of your answer, okay? Do you understand this? Talk to me.
Yes.
Yes? Good.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, now let's do a practice multiplication problem, okay? Okay, y'all good?
Yeah.
Good. So you set this up, 63 times 52. Okay, now 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, look at this closely. 2 times 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 6 is 12. Okay,
So in multiplication, it's a little bit different than addition. So instead of going straight up and down, every single digit in the problem, you have to solve it like this. So first you take the very first digit on the right, which is in this case 2, right? And then you multiply it by 3, and then you take that same 2 and you multiply it diagonally by the 6. So by doing that, you've multiplied every single digit in 63 by the 2. So you've covered all of the digits, right? And then we write the answer over here in the first line. Then we start with the second number, which is the 5 and 52. And we multiply it by the 3, like this. And then we multiply it by the 2. So it's like a crisscross almost.
No, that's not a 2, that's a 6.
Or by 6, pardon. But when we do that, because this is the second line, to the second line, when you write it, you have to write a placeholder. And then you do 5 times 3. What is 5 times 3?
15.
15. So I write the 5 right here. And then, so 5 times 6 is our next problem, right? So since it's 15, we're at the 5 and we carry the 1. And so what is 5 times 6?
30.
30. And then to 30, since we carried this 1 up here, we add it, okay? So it would be 31. So we write like this. And then it's pretty easy from here. All you have to do is add these two numbers together. So what's 6 plus 0?
6.
6.
7.
2 plus 5? Yes, 7.
7.
1 plus 1?
2. 2. And 3.
3 plus nothing is 3.
3.
So this is our answer.
Yeah.
Does that confuse anybody? I feel like we should maybe start with something a little bit easier, maybe. Yeah? Is that confusing for anybody? How the order of the multiplication works? Is that confusing for anybody?
No.
Is that a kind of?
I understand.
You understand? Okay.
Yeah.
So would you guys be able to do something like, okay, let's do 17 times 9. Can somebody walk me through, do you guys know how to use the pen tool? Can you guys write it and walk me through the steps of this?
This is easy. So the steps are, so above, so 9 and 7. So you're supposed to multiply those two, which equals 63. 63. And then that 6 you have to put on top of the 1, and that 3 you have to put under 9 and 7. Then you do 9 times 1. 9 times 1 is 9. Then you do 9 plus 6, which equals 15. So 153.
Very nice. Does that confuse anybody? Does it all make sense to everybody? How you multiply it and why you add it at the top? How you add it?
Makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
Makes sense.
Good.
Yes. I wasn't looking at you.
Next slide, please. Aryan?
It is also math.
So we have some practice problems here. Okay. So I want you guys to take some time, about 5 minutes, and solve these problems. Okay, and then we will go over it. Okay, that's fine. Is it okay? I will let you guys solve these problems, and then we could kind of continue.
There's going to be 15 in that.
So what is the division problem that you could write for this group? What is the total number of dots in B?
15.
15. How many groups or rows are we dividing 15 into? 5. Yes, 5 groups. So when we divide it into 5 groups, that equals how many dots?
15.
In each
Three.
row is 3, yes.
3.
Okay, next. Is everything making sense so far?
Yes.
Yes. Let's take a look at this problem. The Millsbury Bakery has 60 bags of sugar. They used 6 bags of sugar to make some oatmeal cookies. How many bags of sugar are left?
That's subtraction.
Yeah, because we're taking away, right? So that would be 60. And if they use 6, that's minus 6. So it wouldn't be A. What about B? A jeweler had 60 gems.
Has 60 gems. She bought 6 more gems at a
Auction.
How many gems does she have now? That's addition because it said she bought 6 more.
So it'd be plus 6. So we know it's not that one. Let's see. Okay, there are 60 bikes
parked in the bike racks at Billy's school. If there are 6 bikes parked at each bike rack, how many bike racks are there? That is division.
Yeah, division, because we're separating it into each bike rack, right? So into groups. So we do 60.
60 divided by 6 basically is 10 because 6 divided by 10 equals 60.
6 divided by 10 equals 60?
Yeah.
Or 6 times. 6 times.
6 times 10.
Usually when we multiply numbers, when we multiply whole numbers, we get our result is bigger than the numbers that we multiply by. But if we divide, then our answer is usually smaller than the bigger number in the division problem. Does that make sense? You guys, does that make sense? Or no, do you want me to explain that again?
Makes sense.
Makes
It makes sense.
Let's try 96 divided by 4. Can somebody set up this problem for me with the annotation? And work through it? The pen tool on Zoom. Who wants to do this one? Or do you want me to set it up? Okay. So we have 96. We're going to do long division. So we're going to draw this long division symbol. So the first number in our problem goes inside the lines. The second number goes outside the lines. So can somebody tell me how many times can we multiply 4 before it comes as close to 9 as possible without going over 9?
2.
2. All right, answer 2. So tell me, what is 4 times 2?
8.
8. So we subtract
9 minus 8
8 equals 1.
1.
And then we bring down
the 6.
Yes. We have 16. So what do we do next?
How many times 4 fits into 16? So it's like 4 times 4 equals 16. So it's 4 times.
Yes, 4 times. So what is 4 times 4?
It's 16.
16. So we minus it.
So there's no remainders.
So since we went through all of the numbers up here, we went through all of the numbers in 96, all of the digits in 96, we went through them, right? We used all of them. And we got to the end of our problem and we got a 0. That means there's no remainder. We don't have any extra numbers. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so remainders are what is left after we go through all of the digits in our numbers and we realize we have a little bit more that's left that we can't divide out. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Ryan. Thank you. So,
I know.
That is 2 remainder 1.
2 remainder 1. Yes. Can you tell me why it is 2 remainder 1?
Because 9 times 2 equals 18, and it's saying 9 divided by 19. So it's basically 18 and 19. There's one more left.
So it's not 9 divided by 19, right? It's 19 divided by 9.
Yeah,
right?
19 divided by 9.
Yeah, 19 divided by 9 is 2 because we can evenly split them into 2 groups. And the remainder is 1 because this one is like the odd man out. We cannot fit him into a group and make all of the groups equal. Okay, let's work through 30 divided by 7. So I say I have a little trick. right? Instead of obviously you can do long division, but instead of doing long division, the easiest way to find the answer to this with the remainders would be, okay, so how many times does 7 fit into 30 without going over?
4 times.
4.
4 times. So the whole number here is
Times the remainder of
2.
yeah, remainder of 2. So you would multiply the whole number, in this case it's 4, and you multiply it by 7. What is the answer to that? 7 times 4?
It's 28.
28. So we take the 30 and we minus the 28 and see what we're left with after.
And that's the remainder.
And that is the remainder, correct. So it would be 4 remainder 2. So can you guys work these out? Can I have a volunteer to show me the long division way and write on the board? Do I have any volunteers? No? Okay, I will just work it out then. So can you guys tell me where I put the numbers when I'm setting it up?
You have to put 119 on top, then 17 on the bottom.
So we're doing long division. So that would technically be correct, but for the way that we're trying to solve this problem, that would not work, okay? So we would put 119 inside of the lines, and then we would put 17 on the outside. Right? So how many times does 17 go into 119? If you don't know, we can try out some numbers. So we can do 17, and I know 17 is kind of close to 20, and I know 20 goes into 100 about 5 times. So we could try 17 times 5. What is 17 times 5? We do 7 times 5, which is 35, and that is 85. So it's not quite there, right? 17 goes into it 5 times, but there's still more. So we could do 17, and we know 5 times is not enough. So we could do, what's another number we could try to see if it goes into 119? "17 times maybe 7, right? So we do 7 times 7. What is 7 times 7?
49.
49. So 7 times 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is
11.
11. So 17 times 7 is equal to 119. What does that tell us? So what do you think the answer would be if we find out that 17 times 7 equals 119? It's our exact number, right? Here 119. And we know, so we know that 7 times would equal 119, so there would be no remainder.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I still don't know how to do division.
Do you mean like this kind of division with the lines?
Yeah. I don't know how to do long division.
Long division, okay. So,
And division.
okay, so I can do it this way to show you. So we just figured out Okay, does 17, let's go digit by digit, okay? Can 17 go into 1 at all?
No.
Can it?
No.
Can you put 17 somethings into 1, right? You cannot, right? Because
No.
1 is smaller. So we move on and we add 1 digit. And now what we have is 11.
Okay.
Can we put 17 into 11 without going over? No, right? Because 11 is still smaller than 17. So we go to all 3 numbers and we see if 17 can go into 119. Right? So we want to know how many times does 17 go into 119. So that is why we are doing this multiplication problems right here. So we're trying to, it's like guessing a little bit at your age. You'd have to guess a little bit and see, well, how many times can 17 go into 119? So we tried.
I think it's like 10 times.
Well, let's try. Okay, so we have 17.
10 or more times.
We have 17 and it goes into it 10 times. What is 17 times 10?
10 times.
So we write 17, remember, with the tens and hundreds and thousands.
1500.
It's 170 because we just write 17 and then 10 has only 1 0. So we put this 0 over here.
Okay.
Makes sense? So
Yes.
170, it's too big. If we have 17 somethings 10 times, that is 170. That is much larger than 119. So we have to decrease that number to try to find how many times does 17 go into 119, but it does not go over 119, okay? So that is why we tried 17 times 5, because it's much less than 10, right? So we did 17 times 5, and we found that it is 5.
How it's, if it's like, if you do 17 5 times, it's, I mean, it's like gonna be like 30 or, wait a second. So, 7 times 7 equals 7 times 3 equals 21. So 7 times 3, if you do 17 times 17 times 3, I think it will, I don't know. I think it's more than 17. I think it's 17 times 6. Because
here's the thing, we're trying to find how many times does 17 go into 119. It can be 119, right? 17 times some number, we don't know what the number is, goes into 119. It can be 119, right? But it cannot go over 119. So if 17 times something is equal to 120, that does not work in this instance because it goes over 119. It has to be less than 119, or it has to be the same. It has to be exactly 119, right? So when we did 17 times 7, we found that it equals 119, and that means that it is an exact number, right? So that means there's no remainder, because if we have a number and it does not exactly go into a number, that means that it has
a remainder like 3. It's 3 numbers over the 3 numbers. I mean, it's like, so how to explain a remainder is like you have a number and you go over it
So you could have remainders. You could have remainders like 3, 0. That means you have to. The answer. The answer is how. How about if the answer is 100 and you go up to 103? So it's only 3 more digits. It's 3 more digits.
Let me explain like this, okay? So this is
Okay.
something simple, everybody understands. 6. Imagine you have 6 books, okay?
Yeah.
And you want to give them away to 3 of your friends. So what is 6 books divided among 3 friends equally? Is equal to 2, right?
Yeah.
2. Because if you have 3 friends and you have 6 books total, when you hand them out to each friend gets equally 2 amounts of books, right? So if you draw that, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that is 6 books. Imagine that is books.
Yeah, and
you
you give 3 of the books to your 3 of the books to your friends, and you have to make them equal. So you give 3 to your friends and 3 to your friends. So each friend gets 2 books.
Yes. So you notice how each friend equally has same amount of books?
Yes.
So because everybody has the same amount of books, and because there are no books that are left behind, right? There is nothing that is left behind. We used up all of our books. So that means the remainder in this instance is 0, okay?
Yeah.
Every equation in the multiplication table, it has a remainder of 0 when you divide it. For example, 2 times 2 is
2 times 2 is 4.
4, right? So if you reverse that, because you know multiplication and division are kind of like opposites. So if you do 4 divided by 2, that equals
2.
2. There is no remainder because it's all equal and it is on the multiplication table. Even if it is not on the multiplication table, it can have a remainder of 0. I was just using it as an example because it is all divided equally, okay, when we put it into groups.
Okay.
But okay, let me show you when it does not have, when it actually has a remainder. For example, let's change the 17 to an 18, okay?
Okay.
So imagine there is 119 students going on a field trip, okay?
Yeah.
My thing is not working. Okay, 119 students going on a field trip at school, and the school only has 18 buses to fit them all in.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try doing this problem together. How many times can 18 go into 1 without going over?
So each one. So what does each one represent?
So you have 18, okay? So you have now 119 students divided among 18 buses, okay? So 18, can 18 go, because usually when you do division, you go by single digits. So you go 1 digit at a time. So can 18 go in, is 18 bigger or smaller than 1? Yes, 18 is bigger than 1, right? So it cannot go into 1. So we try the next number. So it is 11, right? Like this, 11. So is 18 bigger or smaller than 11?
Small and bigger. Smaller.
It is 18 is bigger than 11, so it cannot go into 11. Does that make sense?
That's what I said.
Okay, so 18 has to go into 119. So we're trying to find how many times does 18 go into 119. So we try different numbers. What is one number that you want to try, that you want to see if...
I want to try like 18 times 5.
Okay, let's try 5. Okay, and depending on whether it is bigger or smaller than 119, we can see if we need to adjust it, okay? So we do
Okay.
8 times 5, which is?
8 times 5, that's 16.
8 times 5 is 40. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
40.
40. So we put the 0 here. We put the 4 up here. Then we do 5 times 1 is?
5 times 1 is 5.
Yes. So we add 4 to 5. What is 5 plus 4?
5 plus 4, that equals 9.
Yes, 9. So 18 times 5 equals 90.
Yeah.
Is that bigger or smaller than 119? Is 90 bigger or smaller than 119?
90 is smaller than 119.
Yes. So we have to keep going, right? Because we have a lot more
Yeah.
space to add more 18s, more groups of 18s.
Yeah.
So we can
So
try
that's
a bigger number. Let's try 18 times 7. Okay?
okay.
What is 7 times 8?
Okay. So it's equal to
What is 7 times 8?
wait, I'm thinking about it. 56.
56, right. So we put the 6
know
here,
that.
and we put the 5 here.
Yeah.
So what is 7 times 1?
7.
Yeah, 7.
7.
5.
7.
Yes, 7 plus 5 is 12, right? So you get 126. And 126 is way too big of 119, right? So
So let's
what
reduce
number should we
one.
try?
Let's do
Mhm.
1. Let's do 6.
Yeah, let's try 6, right? Because 119 is in between 90 and 126. I'll just do this really fast because we're going to end this in a couple minutes, like 2 minutes, okay? So 8 times 6 is 48. Yes. And then 6 times 1 is 6.
What did you say?
6 times 1, we're doing 18 times
6.
Yes,
It's 6.
6. So 6 plus 4 is 10.
6 plus 4, that's 10.
108. So we can multiply 18 6 times before it goes over, right? Because we can do 6 times, but if we do it 7 times, it's way too much over 119.
Yeah.
So we write 6 up here, and then we minus it. 108, right? Because 18 times 6 is 108. So we do 9.
So this has a remainder, right?
Yes, this has a remainder because we cannot take 18 and multiply equally or multiply evenly to get 119. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
the remainder is 11.
11, yeah. So it's 6 remainder 11 because it cannot go equally into this 119.
Yeah.
Okay? That makes sense?
Yes.
So that is the end of our session today. And Aryan, we have homework, right, for them to finish?
Okay.
Yes, we do have homework, and I will try to post it by 6 o'clock today. Okay.
Okay. Where are you gonna post the
Google Classroom.
Is there a classroom? Do we have to join a classroom?
Yes,
Yeah, we have
there is a classroom that you have to join if you haven't already.
Oh yeah, I already have a math classroom, but it's with. Wait. Let me check if
Make
there's
sure you're in the elementary school.
elementary school.
The same thing.
No.
Will next
Go.
will next class include the same things?
What? Could you repeat that question?
So I have a little trouble on those division problems. So could you repeat? Could you teach that same thing next class?
Yes, so you could join peer-to-peer, and then you could get 1 hour of personalized study time, and then our tutors could help you with that problem, okay?
Okay.
And then if you want to rewatch this video, you could go onto YouTube, you could type peer-to-peer elementary math, and you should see this video, this session, recording of this session up there by today night, I guess. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I will end this meeting now.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you and bye bye.
Bye.